In the cocoon of entangled concepts, the truth never stands still. The sharp edges of the art sometimes assume the guise of toy-like innocence, and a mask of ambiguity is always attached to the profile of this word that twists and turns at the boundary between the one and the many. And the weightless knot of neither is heaviest of all. The haze is not a closing of vision. It is a dismantling of focus, a reconstructing of the subject. Like stroking a muddy stream, too noiselessly, yet its trajectory, deviating from the syntax of reality, turned a single unread page of possibility, a seed of the inevitable cloaked in the skin of the accidental. Not a curtain to hide, not a curtain to make us choose, not an impulse to end, but a breath pretending to be a failure to begin. A contradiction blooming under the invalid label of eclecticism that dares. Its petals are now gently throwing a projectile. Elaborately carved memory fragments and fleeting soaring illusions are a momentary challenge to the truth spun by fate, where every element cedes to each other and contrasts with each other, transcending mere coincidence. It is a momentary challenge to the truth spun by fate. The crafting of daily life, which has been carefully accumulated, is transformed into a bold eclecticism at a moment's notice. Sometimes the projectile is cold, as if it will return everything to dust, and at other times it contains a warmth that opens the door to a new world. Illusions dissolving in the haze, all of these fuse together to weave the blueprint of our own souls. There is an exquisite resonance between a mystery that cannot be solved by logic and an indefinite but certain beauty. While nothing is certain, a single gamble offers us a glimpse of the truth. The mastery of craftsmanship and the strangeness of its eclecticism give eternal meaning to the passing time. Everything is that one moment, like a ray of light blooming in a hazy dark night, like a piece of paper dance that suddenly released into the air, deviating from its predetermined trajectory in the rough and tumble of life. Layers of meaning are piled on top of layers of meaning. It is a fusion of chance and will, a miracle of carefully selected skill, a fleeting order in which memories of a time gone by and a future yet to be seen appear in this world as a fleeting glimmer. At this moment, a game of fate, like an abstract painting, projects new colors onto the landscape. Each expression and shadow quietly reveals the core of the self in a play of chance. Invisible brushstrokes move back and forth between activities, and the observer is lost in the delicate labyrinth. Fragments of unseen truths lie beyond the logic of everyday life, as the cry of the creative power that lies within us. The fragile fragments of the crafting process mingle with each other in a momentary glimmer that fades away in the blink of an eye, as the path to be taken is blurred in the distance of time. No one noticed that it was not a deception, but a breath of sensibility that secreted the different, and they were chatting without realizing it. To cast the most minute quivering point in the accumulated ambiguity. With the resolution down, it was not the sky that was hazy, but our innermost archetypes. The threads of intention quickly become tangled. Even love tries to reweave itself in a sophomoric structure, as if ethics and beauty were struck on the same anvil. Yet the haze is forgiveness. The structure of the world is forgiven without showing everything. The essence of relationships that can only appear in that blur. Some memories breathe for the first time by blurring their outlines. A stroke is not a contest. It is an attempt to give form to the unexpectedness that sprouts slightly in the gaps between the threads of existence. The moment it is called eclecticism, the work is no longer decorative, but purely, even if mistily, spilled from the self. And if it is the one and only angle that tries to look straight at the world, we may entrust to that single stroke a truth like a prayer. The only remaining figure at the end of eclecticism is a belief without outline. A glass tower, the framework of which is a remnant of a dream, its elaborate design imitating the movement of the stars and the dragons. Different emotions are incompatible thoughts. The luscious chaos strips away the mask of reason. The haze deepens and becomes a milky white book. Whether advancing or retreating, a sea of thick fog spreads out before our eyes. The fictions are blended and released into the haze. The trajectory of the fictions is the fleeting but earnest proof of our being. We repeat this projectile over and over again on the hazy board of this game. Drunk on the wine of uncertainty, we begin again and again. The haze does not clear, but the will of the grenade does not perish. Like the lingering shadow of the chamber of fate, we cannot help but stare.